Hey everyone, and welcome back to Phoenix Point. So with this episode, we're entering the busy stage of the campaign, where we have multiple planes flying around. They're initiating area scans, exploring sites, and transporting recruited soldiers between bases. So basically, a lot of repetitive tasks, and the camera's bouncing all around in the meantime. So rather than show you guys the full 10 minutes of every little detail, we're just going to highlight the relevant events pertaining to the advancement of the campaign, and then we'll cut out the mundane and repetitive stuff entirely. And the same thing will apply to missions going forward. So after we dispatch strategically of the main threat, we'll reduce the cleanup of missions to a minimum, and that way we can get on to the much more exciting missions that are coming up pretty soon. Anyways, the first thing here to note is that this Disciples of Anu Haven got attacked while I was on the other side of the world, and I just couldn't get there in time. So I didn't quite manage to save every single haven. However, I could have. This is 100% my fault. Basically, I massively underestimated the attacking strength that a citadel provides on nearby havens. I really just thought that I would have more time, and now that I know that I don't, I can plan for that in the future and save all but one havens in the world, hopefully. Then, we finally found a new heavy in a Jericho base, and we recruited him. After that, we found another Jericho base with a random event. So we put out some fires, we gained some Jericho rep, and all we lost was some soldier hit point and stamina, which was actually a great result. Next, there was a random event where we found 8 beheaded Jericho soldiers, and I decided to choose the option free helmets, thinking, sure, I'll get 8 helmets, that's great. Turns out, though, there was actually only 3 helmets, and they were of the heavy variant. So they're a small upgrade over our Golem armor, which gives 27, where these new Jericho ones give 33 armor. But all in all, kind of disappointing, and I wish I had decided to go for the rep instead. I decided it was time to build another research lab and a living quarters, as it was kind of obvious a third squad's going to be needed to defend every haven all over the entire world. And then the Anu Haven in the Citadel region got attacked, and even though the challenge to save all havens already failed, I decided to keep on saving them to see if I can save all the others. Only one haven loss in the entire world can still be, I think, a good goal. Anyhows, we're on to the mission. Ooh, I love it when we spawn on these missions up on the rooftop. This is super cool. Look at this weird looking building, huh? A statue and all kinds of tubies.
On my way.
Oh. What? The Scylla. Spawn multiple small creatures on death. Ability, Monster Leap. Leak to targeted location, destroying everything along the path. This is the biggin enemy. It has a Subbitter head. Okay, effective range 20. And it's got Smasher, Smasher, Smasher. Its armor is 60, 30, 50, 50, 30, 30. That 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, 30, 60, 50. Okay. I didn't actually expect to see this here. Okay. How do we kill it in 1 second? God, capturing that would actually be really amazing. Okay, Cinnamon can move over here and we'll see it. How many hit points does it have? 1,290. Okay. So let's move Cinnamon over. Supposedly we could see it, but we have no valid target, so really we can't. I hate it when the game does stuff like this. It's like, you can see it from here. Oh, no, never mind. Can't do it. Oh, there he is. You know what? We can see it. I guarantee you we can see it. We'll move Puriel over. Oh, he can see it even though it didn't say that we could see it. Let's quick aim with Puriel. I'm not even going to bother on the death mark, since apparently we can't pull it off. Rage Burst. It's right there. Whoo! Bye, boy! This is balanced in every way. Is it dead? If only we've been able to toss the 50% bonus. Is the game gonna hang? Nope, the game did not hang. All right, we're good. Let's take a look over here for a second. It's gonna bleed for 70. It's got 139. Okay, amazing. Zoom, zoom. Okay, now we have line of sight with Cinnamon. Technically, it's not enough. So let's use the mark for death. Thanks for playing, boy! What did it spawn now? Ooh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mine. Is it literally on a pedestal? This is the most dangerous thing in the game, lads. What do you make of that? Wow. Literally the easiest thing in the game because it's actually the biggest thing. I wonder if that was all... No, there's actually more stuff. Okay.
Aiming.
Let's reload with Imperial.
I'm here.
Wow, sneaksy. I don't think these things can get upstairs where we are unless they go all the way around and up, literally up the stairs. Which I think would take them a very, very long time. I guess it's time for Kiyosuke finally to blow a medkit. I don't know why I'm so stingy on these. It's like 16 materials and I have 2,000. But that's how I am.
Ready to fire. Hostile down.
That's a kill.
Ooh, this is my one and only
Right
chance. Fall down, boom, and we actually get 2 attempts to stun. I hope that's enough. We'll see. Probably, maybe. Who knows? Possibly. Yep. Awesome. Let's finish this in the most fun way possible. Hello. How are you? Look at this. All right. And we got a little mind fragger. Somehow, we picked up yet another Marduk's Fist. 12 rep, -5 with new Jericho, which is not great. But we're still within 9% of getting that mission with them eventually. Can't really leave too much here. Ooh, but here are some more things to go explore. Zoom, zoom. Another thing that's becoming very obvious is that I need to fill up the last 5 slots in the base. I shouldn't just be sitting around doing nothing. So I'll look for a whole 3rd crew now. I think right over here, there is a Snipesy. Did this just get downgraded to a Lair? It was a... Oh! Is that because I killed the Scylla in an attack? I think it is. Fascinating. So that's one more sniper. Ah, treason at Fort Artemis. An execution appears to be in progress. 3 individuals are marched out from the main building and placed in front of a firing squad. After the execution is over, people cheer. Apparently the dead were well-known traitors who had only just been captured. Condemn the execution, carefully inquire as to what the crime the prisoners had committed. Make no mention... Oh, so basically this is only a negative thing if we do the wrong thing. I don't even want to inquire. Actually, I do want to carefully inquire. Ah! Oh, no, it's just Haven leaders. They join these cults that keep springing up. Okay, well, that doesn't really help us too much. However, if I wanted to, we could recruit an armadillo here. And I have to tell you guys, I am not interested in recruiting an armadillo. Oh, we were ambushed. Okay. This is in the mist, too, so it might not be the easiest. No, it's going to be the easiest. Oh, is it ever going to be the easiest? They have a lot more hit points than they used to. Can't one-shot him anymore. Almost, but not quite.
Threat eliminated.
I wonder if you can capture on a mission, just for science. Let's find out. On an ambush. Oh no. Okay, well.
Moving to coordinates.
Can't do that anymore. That's such a cool thing that you can do that. I mean, granted, it's super easy to do, but it's just so cool that you can do it in the game. There we go. What? 120 poison. That's literally the most dangerous thing they can do. Why haven't I seen them do that until now? That's crazy. I have no idea. How did we just do 0 damage to his arm? It's alright, guys. Kiyosuke can come to the rescue. Just bonk him on the noggin. With the skirt. The embarrassment alone will show him. Okay, awesome. This guy is more than enough paralyzed. And done. And now we evac. So either you can't capture on an ambush, or you can't capture the same enemy twice. Whew, alright, let's do a little micro stuff. Like, I haven't messed with this for a long time, because I just haven't seen the need to do it. But Kiyosuke, for one, can really upgrade his gun. Also, Ali can do the exact same thing. I built all these a while ago for a reason. Much better. Make sure Cinnamon is decked out. And much better. Yeah, wait, health could be in a better situation, but alas, it's alright.
This mutog research the disciples are engaging in is deeply troubling. Fooling around with mutation is dangerous enough to begin with, but to not even have a proper way of controlling the creature you've created. How long before one of these creatures goes berserk? How long before there are unexpected consequences to their genetic composition? How long before a few of them get free and start breeding? Is the Exalted trying to fight the Pandorans or strengthen them?
So the Mutog is like, apparently the Disciples of Anu version of a vehicle? I tried to get one, but it wasn't actually in the game. Like, I think it's bugged out and not working precisely. Let's come down here, actually, and start scanning. That's perfect. Not sure why we're area scanning there exactly. Here's our other pickup. Welcome, Richard Steele, to the squad.
Research complete.
The Pandoran Lair. They represent larger, more complex colonies. Now we have the quest to destroy a citadel. Unfortunately, we already killed... If I didn't do that mission to save the Disciples of Anu, the Scylla would still be here and we could go kill it to advance the plot. But alas. Actually, it's up right now, so we have tons of room. How's everyone doing in here? 777. 6-6. They're doing extremely well. Another 200 experience, and we'll have an entire secondary squad that is incredibly high experience.
Synedrian, we are told, are working on ways to repel the mist. This by itself is not a sin. We do not condemn it, for the mist is a flood and brings life and death alike. They seek safety for their people, as do we. But if you push the flood away too far, you will die of stagnation. Synedrian has forgotten how to look beyond the flood, at the wide sea, at the future. Instead, they look inward, lost in a maze of reflections. What they offer is not salvation, but a trap.
Okay. So what's happening is Synedrian's researching, and they don't like it. Most havens started as shelters or military installations, but Harmony was a music school. Before the Pandora virus, James O'Hearn was a pianist and a music teacher. When things fell apart, he and his students transformed the school into a fortress. More out of necessity than choice, but slowly their community grew, and O'Hearn became its leader. To the dead god. O'Hearn welcomes our operatives into the haven. He's friendly and humble. I wanted to hire you, I suppose, for a mission. That's how this works, right? He says. I'm afraid it'll seem quite absurd, but if I pay you, it should be okay, right? I don't see why not. Just a casual little random mission there. In any event, we need to go find our Phoenix Point haven. Here's another berserker. I should probably go grab him. Yoink this guy. Fantastic. Back up here. And off to find our third base.
The disciples of Anu Haven is under attack.
Oh, they can actually defend, and there's no reason for me to go help them at this point, because it'll just lower my reputation. So the reason they can defend is because this is not a citadel. Oh, there we go. All right, what do we got in here? Access lift, another lab, more living quarters. Let's repair that up. Repair this, beautiful. This can repair our plane, not that we super need it, to be honest. Not bad. It'd actually be helpful to have a medical bay here. Depending on how long it takes. 3 days, so we could just fly back and back over here in the time it takes. We need to defend a new Jericho haven, the likes of which we just have not seen be attacked this entire game. Amazingly, they keep hitting the disciples of Anu. They just won't hit any of these new Jericho ones. So, a new plan. We're going to get, finally, at long last, friendly reputation with New Jericho. And the way we can do this, actually, is to destroy this lair, which should give us about 5. And then also steal this plane here, which should give us about 3. And that'll be just enough to finally be able to do the mission for New Jericho. I'll do the mission for New Jericho, then know where all their 42 havens are. Then I can finally do the Disciples of Anu 49% mission, which New Jericho is not going to like because it's specifically targeting them. But that won't be a huge setback. This will make Disciples of Anu share their technology with us, and I can finally start building some of their gear, which I think is going to be armor that I really like with high mobility. But there's a few other things before we get into all of that. First, we need to put the Scylla autopsy in because that's a part of the objectives. And while I'm here, I'll just queue up literally all of these things, autopsies and vivisections and such. I'm not going to manufacture anything, but we are a little bit low on storage capacity. So let's actually sell some stuff. Let's look at all the equipment in the game. What do we have 19 crossbow quivers. Okay. Well, guess what, guys? We now have storage capacity. Why does that take space? We also have 14 rounds for this laser pistol. We really don't need that much. Awesome. Okay, that is much, much, much better. Yeah, there we go. 158 after we click around a little bit. So, in the bases, now that we've unlocked Phoenix Omega in Western Africa, I actually want to do more rip-outs of fabrication plants here in Phoenix Point. You guys know where I'm going with this. More training facilities. I actually feel like we don't need the medical bay here in the slightest. It repairs hit points, but we can just use the stims when we get into a mission if we really need to. So we can rip this out as well. I'm now realizing the medical bay is kind of useless outside of the first few days, and training facilities are just unbelievably broken. Anyways, another training facility. We could rip out the store and put it someplace else. And we could also move the living quarters someplace else. And we could move the satellite up. This'll just be training facilities. All right, you know what? Let's do that. Let's put the store over here. let's put a second store here so I don't have to worry about it. One more living quarters. And lastly, we have to bring our crew who has 0 stamina up to Phoenix R&D 7 because there's not 1 but 2 living quarters there. That'll allow them to restore their stamina so we can go do these 2 missions. There we go. So let's heal up. Or rest up, rather. Good. We're fully rested. I suppose there's no reason not to go after this thing first on our way to the hive. Oh, another thing I want to do is start picking up a huge amount of guys wherever I can see them. Ooh, a heavy! Yes, 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 yes. That's what we've been looking for a long time. Let's grab this guy on the way. Hey, what's over here? Another berserker. You know what? While I'm there...
Research complete.
Siren Vivisection, okay. Now, that gives us a new technology here. Pandoran Telepathic Nodule. So let's queue that up. We'll throw it to the very top. And we'll put Scylla Autopsy in front because it's shorter. Good. And now that we're here, let's grab this guy. He'll go to Phoenix R&D. Awesome. Let's grab this berserker. Whoo, that was a lot of stuff. All right, guys, time to steal us a plane. Yoink. Oh, +6, actually. For doing this, we're going to get +6 with New Jericho. I thought it was going to be 3. All right, that actually makes me worried. Are they a stronger Haven? I probably should have looked at the strength, right? All right, so right out of the gate, we see 2 guys standing in the open. Here's the plane. We're kind of in the low ground across the map, so they could pretty easily shoot us from a million rooftops. Okay. Not a super big fan of that, to be honest. Especially with our incredibly low hit points. Yeah, we really need... So first thing we need to do, just straight up heal. I doubt... Well, Zarujin actually has good armor, so I was going to say we could run back and heal, but another thing we could do with Zarujin is dash, dash, shoot, shoot. Looks like Imperial's only going to get 1 shot here. We should probably go for some kind of cover. There we go. High cover.
On the move.
Is there another one? Yeah. Behind us. Okay, there's a lot of guys. Sniper is by far more dangerous than the assault. We also can't... They have 230 hit points now. We also cannot one-shot them anymore. Right in the neck. This is actually worrisome. We can't one-shot them.
Okay, let's move.
Cinnamon will have to get healed. We actually will probably have to dash out.
Move.
We're gonna have to go all out here. I don't like this guy behind us, but he is an assault, so his aim isn't gonna be all that great. We shoot that guy twice, it's not gonna be enough. So it's not even any sense to quick aim it. Let's see what our rage burst. Oh, perfect. All right, that's 1 guy down. Gonna take 3 shots. Oh! There goes our tree! Okay. Okay, Cinnamon, we're done. We're done. That's... Jeez. Okay, then. Another assault. Wow.
Scanners. Connection established.
Wow. Aggression. Oh, we're fine. Everything's fine, guys. Don't worry. Whew.
Switching.
Everything is fine. Except for our FPS.
Comms online.
I wonder if we could just bash this guy to death. What? 72 damage? Wow. Okay. Well, we tried.
Hostile missed.
Just a bit off. Think of it as reverse solidarity.
Oh, snipey. Snipies are the scaries. So this guy is somewhere over here at the end. Well, I was close, but now I can actually see him. That's the best thing about this gun. It's like, can't see what you're doing? Now you can see what you're doing.
Threat eliminated.
One thing I actually want to do here, I want to see what happens if we try to capture this guy. And since we can move in, let's give it a whirl. Uh-oh. Well, I mean, he's got an assault rifle and we have armor, so he does literally nothing to us. Doesn't even have any shred. We're immune. Yep. This is little tickles, that's all. Power. I wonder if you get their gear, is what I'm wondering. So I intentionally went for the second disable there to stack a second bleed.
To lose.
Because I assumed we couldn't kill him, and bleeding actually matters a little bit more now that things aren't getting instantly one-shot. Yeah, well, it wouldn't have made any difference there, but you get the idea.
Switching ammo.
Wow.
Next time.
Okay. For some reason, this guy's just invulnerable.
Crunch time.
Not anymore.
Neutralized.
Escalating aggression.
Facing scanners.
God, they do this every time.
Have to focus.
Assault Wars? I was worried about that guy without bleeding. Normally, he'd be fine. We're still fine over here. It's just... It's unfortunate. Normally, we would bleed him, but his gun was blocking too much of him. It was actually really good cover, amazingly enough. Yeah, see? Like, the whole gun. I guess I could have just destroyed the gun. 2 hit points! Ooh, and this guy's screaming. Okay. Okay, I think that's it. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Everything's complete. Those 2 guys were stunned. Is there any value to us stunning them? And the answer is no. So you just don't get the experience for killing them. You don't get any of their gear. It doesn't seem like you get a higher chance of their gear. We didn't get any armor. I think this seems like pretty normal loot. Just ammo and a random pistol. So yeah, that's unfortunate. On the plus note though, we do have yet another aircraft. I think it makes a lot of sense to come back here. Or should we just go pick everybody up while we're right here? Now, check the diplomacy tab. We're at 22. We just need to do one more thing and we're done. And indeed, we can do one more thing right here by destroying this lair. It's a screamy. It's not a screamy. Hello. Imperial can actually reload.
Advancing.
Move over here. Quick aim. And Rage Burst. Do I even need to do this? It just seems like, why waste the $6 on ammo?
I'm going.
Actually haven't used this ability in a long time. Armor Breaker.
Yeah. Preparing to fire.
Okay. Yep. Handled. Wow. Didn't even need Imperial. No, he's down there. He's pretty obviously right there. We're gonna have to sneak in. Oh, these guys have a new head. Okay, I gotta be very careful about this because we're right through there and we will shoot through him. Looks like we have a guaranteed kill. Better to go. We go over here to see what's up with this guy's head.
Time.
Another screamy weemy. Regeneration, silent echo. All weapon attacks are silent. Well, it's not gonna matter, and he doesn't have pain chameleon, so.
Attack.
Into the hole. Make sure we don't mess this up. Even the carapace.
Threat eliminated.
You have a screamy. Ooh-doo-doo. Whoo, poor screamies. We actually didn't have enough ammo to shoot every single round, so Screamy isn't dead yet. There we go. Screamy's dead now. Must want to split up so we don't get bombed by the Bombasaur. Oh, he did scream. How the heck? He's got... Oh, you know what it is? He's got 900 hit points, so it looks like he's got nothing, but he actually has a little bit left. Yeah, now he's got one. One hit point remaining.
Keep it together.
Oh! Nice reinforcement. Bombasaur! Alright, 1, 2, 3. Didn't realize they were wormies. What kind of worms are there? That looks like acidid worms. And shotgun head.
Focus.
It's a slow mission. And there it is. +7, which doesn't matter because we're capped. +4, which puts us at the 24 cap. And +5, which gets rid of quite a bit.
Good to be working with you. If we're going to save the world, we'll need all the help we can get. At this stage, we've granted you low-level access to our network and set up a liaison office to work with your people. But, as I'm sure you can understand, we need to take things slow at first. Your organization has a reputation. It's hard to know which side you'll take, and we need to know that you share our values. At the moment, we're setting up a mission to recapture an old satellite control base. What for? Well, there's a saying in New Jericho, Tobias West always has a plan. And he has a plan for the equipment and the data we can get from that base. You'll find out more when the time is right. So, are you up for it? We'd really appreciate your help.
Finally, boys, phase 1. And look at that. It's right here, and that would get rid of all of our stuff. Yeah, I am 100% up for finally knowing what's going on with New Jericho at frigging long last. Long last. How we doing on Sanhedrian? Still friendly at 1%. We've stolen 3 of their planes, and they're like, yeah, it's all right. We don't mind. Don't worry about it. Anyways, let's beeline this mission. It's absolute most important thing. And at long last, it's time for our Phase 1 New Jericho mission. But that's for the next episode. For now, thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon. Rage Burst. It's right there. Whoo! Bye, boy! This is balanced in every way. Is it dead?